Hello and welcome to the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. My name is Will Spargur. This is part 2 of this week's podcast, and we are doing finished objects. If you are just joining me and haven't been to my channel before, you can find all of my socials and affiliate links and everything in the video description box below, and then you can also subscribe, like this video, and hit that little bell for notifications for every time I upload a video. And then you can also find part 1 of this podcast by clicking up in the corner there, and you can go see my works in progress from this week. But today is the finished objects. I have 3 things to show you that I'm very excited about, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one I have is just this cute baby blanket that I crocheted. And this actually used a gradient set from Big Twist Yarns. I got it at Joann's. It had 5 skeins for a total of, I believe, like 519 yards or something like that. But it started out with the white in the middle, the lighter pink, the darker pink, there's a darker pink, and then there's a red, which only has about 2 rows. And then I actually pulled some white from my stash just to border it. It's a very cute little baby blanket. I think I used a 5.5 millimeter hook for this, and it's not very big, but cute little baby blanket. This is actually gonna go to my roommate's parents' little 15-year-old Chihuahua, Mikey. I'm gonna give this to him because sometimes. So Mikey pretty much has to be supervised. He can't go upstairs. He's very old. He has actually gotten quite a bit of life back into him ever since they've been staying here with me for a little bit until they moved to Texas. But because Mikey's now been around my dogs and Delilah's dog, he's lost about 6 pounds. He was a pretty big dog for his tiny self and age, but he's lost some weight. He can run again, which is awesome. And we think his eyesight is coming back a little bit, which is kind of crazy. But when they leave him downstairs, when they go out to go to the grocery or whatever they need to do as their essential trip, sometimes they'll leave Mikey downstairs instead of in their bedroom. And Mikey likes to just find something nice and soft to lay on, and a lot of times we don't leave stuff on the floor just because of the dogs, but when Mikey's downstairs, we'll leave something. So sometimes we'll put a pillow or something on the floor. But I made this so that we can have it for when Mikey is downstairs, and we can just lay this down and he can lay down on top of it. He pretty much just sleeps most of the day. He sleeps, eats, poops, and that's about it. He's very, very cute. But yeah, that's what I made for him. And the only thing I'm going to do now, I have woven in the ends, but I am going to put it through the wash just to kind of get everything to loosen up and block out a little bit more. But that is the first finished object. The second finished object is the worsted weight shawl that I was doing with kind of some leftovers from my stash. And this is it. It has been blocked. It's small. I was trying to do a lace section, and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So I actually stopped. The other thing is, with this style of shawl, you get a really long area that goes around your neck, but it doesn't get very deep with the construction of this type of shawl. And I just thought it's going to be 11 feet long before it's the depth that I want it to be. And that just wasn't something that I wanted to deal with. I do need to weave in the ends, but I also did just a regular bind off on this. I thought I did an I-cord. I've been into I-cords recently. This was knit on US 6s. I'm not super thrilled with the outcome. I think it's just because I'm not thrilled with the colors. They are pretty, but they're not my favorite. Again, just using whatever I had in my stash. But, you know, that's okay. This is a fun learning process, and with yarn that I'm not over the moon about, I'm okay with knowing, like, I've got a finished object. It's not my favorite, but it's done. I learned a little bit along the way, and I don't feel bad about using the yarn for something like this. Now, at a distance, actually, In the camera, I'm really actually starting to fall in love with this colorway. Up close, it's not my favorite, but on camera and at a distance, I actually kind of love it. I wish I had just maybe stayed with garter stitch or stockinette instead of trying to throw in textures or whatever. But actually, that color's kind of nice. This one, I'm still not super thrilled with this color. I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me, but I don't know. Even at a distance, it just looks... I don't know. But this is done. I'm going to weave in the ends. I'm probably just going to throw this one on, like, decoration on my wall or something. We'll see. We'll see how this comes out. Again, learned a lot about construction and some of the different techniques and things that I used and textures. Learned a lot about it. Next time I want to do a lace thing, I'm going to try and chart it out so that I can pay attention to where stitches are being added so I know, because I was just trying to, every time I'd finish a 2-row, right side, wrong side, I'd have to sit there and go, okay, this is where I should be starting, and it's just, it doesn't work out that way, and it wasn't working out the way it was supposed to with the lace pattern that I was trying to use. So I think next time I'm going to make sure that I chart it out so I know what I'm doing so that I can try and get a better understanding. Because then also I might write them out, write the pattern out. But this one I'm not going to. I'm not thrilled with the outcome. So fun to play with. Not happy with final outcome, but I am happy that I did it and with everything that I learned from doing it. The last one is the Anzula cowl. I finished it. I'm very pleased. I am going to include in the pattern that if you want it to be taller, to do extra repeats of the color work sections here. Because for me, this is going to be fine for me in Vegas. Oops. I worked really hard to get this hair to sit the way it was. So for me in Vegas, this is gonna be plenty. This is all I need. But I know in some places where it's cooler, you'll want to be able to pull it up. And this, there's room there. It's not all the way down. So if you want it to be longer, I'm gonna make sure the pattern says to do an extra repeat. But for my purposes, this is great. I'm really thrilled with the outcome. I have typed up the pattern and I am going to be looking for testers soon. Not yet, but soon. And the reason I don't have testers yet is because I am using a new platform. You may or may not have heard of it. I know a lot of people haven't. It's called Ribblr, RIBBLR.com. Ribblr is a pattern hosting site for knit, crochet, and sewing. It is still in beta. As a designer, I've been given early access so that I can work with the designing aspect of the what do they call it? The forum, the platform, with the platform. It's an e-pattern platform. When I'm designing a pattern, I just type in the rows with my regular abbreviations. If there's different sizing things, the computer system, the program will actually do the smart sizing for you. If I wanted to add photos or links to YouTube tutorials, I can add those in there. And at the end of all of this, putting it together, I can add repeats in. There's just so many cool... I can actually separate it out into sections, and by the time it's all said and done, it creates this beautiful interactive e-pattern so that when you're in the program, and they're gonna have an app as well, so when you're in the program and you're knitting it, you can say, I've done row 2, and it'll check it off for you. Or if you leave and come back, you're like, I need to skip to this section. Oh, here's the section. You can click on that, and it'll take you right to that section, right where you left off. You can look at the photos. Right now, they do not have interactive charts, but it is in the works, so I'm very excited about that, because, of course, the first pattern I put in there is a colorwork pattern, but I put photos of the colorwork charts in there, so you can see those interactively in the system. And if you want a print version, it creates a beautiful formatted PDF pattern. It's gorgeous. I love this platform. I'm very excited for it. And you can sell, you can do free patterns there. It's not open to the public yet, but here very soon they are going to, each of the designers that participates is going to get 10 giveaway codes to give to 10 lucky people so they can go in and kind of see and play around with it before the general public gets access to it. It's free to join, I believe. It should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But again, there's an app for both Apple and Google. It's not available yet. The link doesn't work yet, but I know that the app is in the works and that it will be available when they are ready to release. But so far, with my interaction with the system and creating patterns in their program, it is a beautiful program. I think it's going to make designing just so much more streamlined, and I think, you know, a lot of people, they send it off to a tech editor who then, you know, formats and creates the pattern and makes it look in a certain way. And the fact that this creates the PDF pattern in a beautiful format with your photos and everything, I think that's just genius. It takes a lot of the extra work out of it. So I'm very excited for the platform. I'm very excited to see where this is going to go, and I hope more designers are going to get involved and want to use this platform. The husband-wife team who developed this program are wonderful, kind, very intelligent people, and they have been listening to everybody's suggestions. And every time I've seen somebody suggest something, they don't say no. They say, you know what, we never thought about that. Let's see what we can do. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen, or if it does happen, that it's going to happen quickly, but they want to look at every possible way to make this service accessible to both designers and people who are making the patterns that are sold on this platform. It's a beautiful platform. Oh, one of my other favorite things is, let's say that you design a crochet pattern in US crochet terms, but somebody who wants to buy the pattern only uses UK crochet terms. They can choose which translation they want, and it will automatically translate it for them. So if I put that it's a double crochet, they'll see triple crochet. If I put in single crochet, they'll see double crochet. Or if I put in half double, they'll see double. Whatever the term equivalent is, they'll see that. But they also are working on translation so that if I write a pattern in English, somebody in France can have their pattern automatically translated from English to French, just at the click of a button. Amazing. I think that is genius. Because how many times have we run into a beautiful pattern and it's like, well, it was translated from Russian, but not very well. Does anybody know how to do this? In Ribblr, if somebody in Russia designs this pattern, it will automatically translate to English, and it's a smart system. So it actually can be like, this actually means this in this language, and it'll do it automatically. I think that is incredible, and I'm so excited for this platform. So when there are giveaway codes so that there can be exclusive access, I will have an announcement for that so that 10 lucky people can get early access to the platform. If you are watching this and you are a designer, they are looking for more designers to get involved. So I can't remember. It's Ribblr.com. I'll put a link in the video description box. But you can also find them on Instagram, RIBBLR.IT, and they should have some information in there about where you can sign up as a designer to use the platform as beta. So I'm really excited for that, and that's why I don't have testers yet. I am finishing up the pattern in Ribblr, and then I'm going to download it as the PDF so that I can send it out to my testers. So I am finishing up the pattern in Ribblr, and then we'll have that done. The other one that I'm going to be doing in Ribblr very soon is the Mosey on Down the Fade that I actually finished a while ago. I had actually formatted that and everything myself, but I want to kind of see how that translates in Ribblr, because just the way that the pattern is written, I want to see if that's going to translate well. So we'll see what happens there. But that's why I haven't called for testers on Mosey on Down the Fade yet either, is because I was waiting for this platform to kind of take off. So I'm going to get both of those patterns done in there, and then I'll have a call for testers. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Those are my finished objects. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like and hit that little bell for notifications every time I upload a video. I still don't know yet whether or not there will be a video tomorrow. If there is, it will probably be a tutorial, a crochet tutorial. If not, then there won't be. On Thursday, we're going to have sewing, and on Friday, we are going to have my life updates. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again very soon here on the Spargur Yarn Co channel. Thanks. Bye.